Morning, everybody. 8:07 a.m. Welcome to my channel. Welcome. This market's not really doing much. Okay, we're in balance. That's what we're doing. Made a big move. We're making a rest. We're just resting. This is bullish. There's no other way you can think about it. It's just bullish, right? ES has a bunch of poor structure. S&P 500 has a lot of poor structure below it. It tried to dip into it last week. It couldn't take it out. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Well, I was saying ES tried to take out that poor structure, couldn't do it. Yesterday, Trump posted on Truth Social about compensation from Iran. He wants compensation. That took the market down a little bit, but really didn't change anything. Yesterday, like I said, was a typical Monday, digesting stuff. Um, Crude is flat today. There's still a lot of Strait of Hormuz like things going on with that being in question. So that's still the big question mark. Like I said, I don't think we're going to see big moves from that unless there's something that the market doesn't expect. Okay. For me, I had no trades yesterday. I was stalking a couple of longs. They didn't work. Okay. That's basically it. I pretty much, after about 1 o'clock, I was pretty much done. It was just nothing to do. All right. All right. Let's get into it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Steve Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the markets, along with supply and demand, cam exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That is my edge. It's where I come up with my game plans. Once that market opens up, I use my market internals to show me where money flows are going off the open, along with a little ICT, anchor VWAPs, most weekly expected move indicator for thicker swim. I give away for free on my Discord, along with gamma exposure levels, specifically gamma flip points, which are very, very important. Okay, for weekly and monthly, also give away for free on my Discord, all wrapped up into one. That's my own proprietary trading system. Alrighty. Now, hopefully you join me every morning. Subscribe, set that alert, give you the market story, the market news, the technical analysis, and I always give you the long and short trade scenarios on the Nasdaq and ES futures later on in the stream. If you want more in-depth coverage, you're going to join my Discord. That's Confluence Trading. Go to my YouTube homepage, click on the link, and sign up. What are you waiting for? Let me be your indicator. Okay. Let's get into the futures watch list. Alrighty, what do we have going here? Well, we have Ethereum up 0.96, gold up 0.74, Bitcoin up 0.71, Nasdaq's up 0.10, Russell's up 0.27, silver up 0.25, ES up 0.19, Dow's up 0.13, 30-year bonds flat, 10-year yield flat, dollar flat, VIX pretty much flat, crude, now I'm just seeing this, crude is down 0.34, it was just flat, okay? Let's get into the maximum plus here. Nvidia was down yesterday from that $500 billion financing thing. It's up 1.35. Micron's up 1.20. Remember, semis were down yesterday. They're getting love today. All right. Let's see who's down today. Intel. Intel is down 1%. Okay. Top sectors. Qualcomm up almost 1%. Boeing up 0.87. Oracle up 0.83. Let's see who's down a little bit here. Exxon, NEM down 0.64, and Palantir software down 1.13. Okay, software's been getting love lately. Okay, sectors. Here's the reverse. Okay, yesterday semiconductors were down. At the end of the day, they finished down 2.83% off the open. So money flows were coming out of semis yesterday. Okay. Technology is up 0.59. So this is all good signs for the market for right now. Energy is your lagger today, which it was not the lagger yesterday. It was actually up 3.42% from the open. Okay. We're going to get to the economic calendar now. Today, we have ADP employment change weekly at 8:15, 10 a.m. existing home sales. 10 a.m. existing home sales. I mean, I'm not going to trade at 10 a.m., but this doesn't usually move markets much. Okay, it really doesn't. Um, let's look at if anything is here. Look at Wall Street futures muted amid fading Bruce Steele. Hope CPI weighted up. It's basically what I feel is happening as well. Let's see. Treasuries fell. Stock futures fluctuated. Rising oil prices revive inflation concerns the day before the release of the CPI data. Pakistan's interior minister arrives in Tehran for talks. Let's see here. I don't really see anything here. Trump's schedule today. Good time. President presents policy. President presents policy. I don't really see anything there. But let's go to some news here. Let's see if there's a news here. That did not update yet. All right, so we're gonna move on. All right, let's do a little breath reading real quick. We didn't do these yesterday because I didn't have time. So 20 day moving average, 63% of stocks over to 20. Let's go to 50. 65% are over 50, so pretty healthy market, right? Let's go to bullish percent index. Woof. 70%. Okay. Very, very frothy here. Okay. Generally, when you stay here, there's a pullback, but you either pull back or consolidate. We are consolidating, right? Let's look at that NDX because the NDX is weaker. Oof, 71%. Okay, so both markets are digesting this big move up. They just had a big move up. You're either going to pull back or you're going to consolidate and then you can make a move higher. All right, let's look at one more. Infotech, which is the technology sector, 78% of buy signals. All right, so what we're doing, we're consolidating. All right, that's what we're doing, consolidating. All right, moving on. Now, there was some earnings yesterday. Rocket Labs, AST Mobile, all right, HIMS, USA Rare Earths, GoPro. This morning there was Cardinal Health, Rackspace. Today after the close, Supermicro, CoreWeave, Kava. That's about it. Tomorrow before the open, don't really see anything. Oh, Nebius before the open tomorrow. Alrighty. Let's go to the market internals from yesterday. All right. So yesterday, okay, market started off pretty decently strong, right? And then boom, nice selling here. Then selling ensued, and then we just drifted away. Why? Because out of the top 5 sectors, 3 out of 5 were green, right? And tech was weak. Now, for a majority of this day, tech wasn't this weak. It got weaker. Okay. It was actually flat, even though semis were holding down. Semis were really holding down the markets yesterday. It's really, at the end of the day, that's what really happened. Equal weight was stronger than market cap weight, right? Technology moves our markets, folks. Okay. But when the rest of the market's green and tech does red, we're going to just not do much. That's basically what happened there. All right, let's move on. Daily charts now. There's not much to analyze here. There's really not much to analyze. All right, let's go to daily charts here. All right, here's a good old SPY. We are balancing. Okay. Close inside the prior day. Close below Friday's close. All right, where are we now? 774.70s. 774.70s is right. You're at yesterday's highs. Okay. Futures. Let's look at those real quick. Big balance, right? Multiple sessions in a row. Okay. Not much to say here. Just balance, okay? Qs. Here's that major supply yesterday. Okay. We almost hit it. Or maybe we did. Maybe I got to get... Yep, we hit it. And from there, we sold off a little bit. Okay. Close below last week's close. Okay. Where are we now? Let's call it 724. 724. We're at the upper part of yesterday's range. Okay. Nasdaq futures. There's that daily supply. We have been inside this thing and we haven't been able to break it. Almost broke it there. Still just a lot of resistance here. Okay. This is setting up. It just looks to me like it wants higher. Who knows? Okay. I don't know. All right. That's daily charts. We're going to move on. I don't even think I need to go over hourly charts. It's not really going to show us much difference. We're in balance. Okay. I'm going to skip that for today. There's no need to go into that. I just showed you balance here. That's what we're in. I mean, there's not much to talk about balance. Okay. Um, let's go right into the market profile, volume profile now. You can still see balance in this chart. Okay. So this is your market profile, volume profile. All right. So clearly, look at all the sessions lined up, right? It's balance. That's what it really is. Okay. And what I keep saying every day, most traded price of the rolling week is 77.70. They can move the 77.75s now. But this area, right? As long as it holds, and as long as we hold the 77.24-25 area, this is bullish. It's bullish. Okay. And CPI is coming out tomorrow. Now, CPI, even though I think it's forecasted that it could be under, I don't know about that because when this was happening, crude was up. So, which the market might know that already and it might not care if it goes higher. I don't know. Okay. I know algos hit the markets. Okay. But this is pretty easy here. Okay. We have a bigger balance area. Let's call it the 7800s down to the 7724s or 7725. That's the bigger area, but we have an immediate balance area here. Where is that, right? 70. That's like I said, let's call it 7800, make it easy. 7763s. That's the ES, the last 3 sessions. So overnight, yesterday's trading session, overnight again, all in balance. We're queuing up. We're balancing for a big move. However, once you come into resistance, it's resistance again, it's resistance again. That forms balance. Okay. So let's get into the long and short trade scenarios in the ES. Okay, pretty easy here. Even make this bigger. All right, we can make this bigger, break out the session. Okay. So we're going to start off with longs because the bulls are in control. Okay. Demand zone here, right, starts about 77.80 down to about 77.63. Right, we have the most traded price of the week, which has kind of moved slightly up to 7775. Okay, so we are in balance, and all you got to care about is, do we break out or do we go back and just continue to balance? Nobody knows. Okay, eventually you break out. Remember, market only does 2 things: base trend, base or trends, base or trends. That's all the market does. Okay, so we just made a big move, right? And now we've been balancing. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sessions that we haven't really gone anywhere. Okay, it's queuing up energy. All right, so longs. Well, the obvious one is a breakout, right? So if we come up here, hit 77.98, and let's say we consolidate a little pullback to yesterday's highs, that could be the long, go for all-time highs, right? That would be the breakout. Okay. What else could happen? Off the open, you get a nice pull back to the 7775s, which happens to be demand, right? Happens to be demand, and the most traded price of yesterday as well. If you get some love here, that is also the long. You could target the 77.98s. Okay. Now, there's number 3 is, let's say all of a sudden the market pulls back. We come all the way down to 77.63. Let's say we sweep that, and I would like this to happen and not have the market be that weak. All right, if we recover, put in a higher low, That would be your long because that would be a little mini balance lows and target 775s. Okay. Shorts. Well, we're just came off of balance highs around the 77.98, 7800 area. What if we come up here, boom, sweep that, go back inside the range, put in a lower high? Well, guess what? That's your balance area high short because it's the balance area. Then what do? Target 775s, then go to 7764s. If you break those, well, maybe you go down to 7743s. And this is a bigger move, right? This gets out of the mini balance. The bigger balance can go all the way down to the 7724s. I don't know if that happens before CPI. Okay, I'm just saying. Safe bet is yesterday's lows at 7763. Okay, right now, that's the only thing I like for short, be honest with you. All right, let's move on to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ, let's open this up because now we're in a bigger session here. Now, I've been saying this too as well, right? NASDAQ, as long as we stay above the 297s, okay, which is ultimate balance, to be 29750s to be exact, most share price of the most share price of the month, okay, it's bullish. Right now, look, we tried to go down to the 296 and change in the overnight session, but it could not sustain it. Back over, it's just bullish. Okay, it is just bullish. It's all you can say. Now, is the NASDAQ in that nice little balance area that the ES is in? No, it is not. But what did you have? You swept yesterday's lows in the overnights. This makes me think we're probably going to hit the overnight highs and eventually maybe even hit, overnight highs and yesterday's highs. And maybe we have a date set with the 29985s. I don't know. Okay. But let's get into scenarios here in the NASDAQ. Okay. Let's break out the session. There is a demand zone. Okay. Pretty big, from 29796 down to 29666. Okay. We also have a bullish fair value gap inside that, which is from 29764 to 29734. Okay. That's ultimate balance as well. All right. Remember that 29750s is ultimate balance. So remember what I said, acceptance above that is bullish. Okay. So any pullback into the 297 and a halves, right? And you get a push off and a higher low, that's your long. Target 29887s, overnight highs. Target 299s, yesterday's highs. And see if you can hit 29985s. Okay. Now, door number two with a long would be push up into yesterday's highs. And I would want some type of like consolidation for the pullback to 299 to go long. Okay. It's kind of all I like for longs in the NASDAQ. Now, shorts. All right. Below this 296 and a half would give the bears some traction, but they don't have it when they're above here. So the only thing I could say is if we push off, break yesterday's highs, but then fail around the 299 and a halves, get some rejection here with a lower high, that's your short target 297 and a halves. Okay. I don't honestly, if it drops below here, there's so much demand here. There's always a trade somewhere, right? So, but I just don't really like a short at all down there. All right. So I think that's it for me. Okay. This is what I really just like. I'm zoning in what I really just like. So recap real quick. ES is in a little mini balance, 7798s to 7763. Bigger balance, 7798s down to 7724s. Okay. That's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. Okay. Just in balance, probably waiting a CPI. NASDAQ, just be mindful of ultimate bounds, 297.5s. Okay. Over that is bullish. Semis were down yesterday. They're getting love this morning. That doesn't mean they get love off the open, but we'll have to see. I would think a pullback would be viable. Okay. We'll see. All right. That's it for me. Smash the like button. If you enjoyed that analysis, that would be a lot to me. Okay. As always, please join me every morning. Subscribe, set that alert. All right. Give you the market news, technical analysis, long and short trade scenarios I just gave you in the NASDAQ and the ES futures. Okay. Now, if you want more in-depth coverage, you're going to join my Discord. That's Confluence Trading. Go to my YouTube homepage, click on the link, and sign up. What are you waiting for? Let me be your indicator. I should be going live around 9:45 a.m. today. Hopefully, you come join me. That's where you get all the golden nuggets, folks. Okay? I'm talking constantly of what I'm seeing. Dropping golden nuggets, golden nuggets. So I'm live every day, pretty much. Okay? Just come join me. Now, we have our plans. I think it's pretty easy today. Now, volatility's been shrinking. Tempo's been slowing. Okay? So early volume is key to taking a good trade. I just hope I see my edge show up. I know when my edge is there and I see, oh, this is setting up perfectly. Okay. So that's the kind of trades I want to take. Otherwise, keeping my powder dry. All right. Now, everybody, I hope you have a good day. Remember, no trades to trade. Now, if I see you in my Discord, that would be awesome. If not, I'll see everybody tomorrow morning.